achievements and activities report of this institution, where the 4 years journey of 2020 batch students is beginning. Obviously, the parents will also become an important stakeholder of this institution. And they'll also start their journey with their wards with SAVI Institute of Technology. It's my honor and privilege to welcome, on behalf of the management, on behalf of all the deans, HODs and staff members, His Holiness Sri Vidya Saraswati Swamiji, Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashrama, Tumakuru. Sir, Suswagata sir. In 2020, our students are lucky to have the blessings of this 4 years. I take this opportunity to welcome the guest of honor for the day, Mrs. Rukmini Giridhar, Head Learning and Organization Development, Strides Pharma Science Limited, for this inauguration program. Welcome, madam. On behalf of all the HODs and staff and students and parents of this program, I welcome our Honorable President, the Founder Trustee, the Director of SVIT, Professor M.R. Pulla sir, for this inauguration program. I hereby welcome Professor A.M. Varmareddy, the Vice President of Sri Sai Vidya Vikasa Shikshana Samiti and Dean Student Affairs for this inauguration program. It's my privilege to welcome the young and energetic Secretary of SVIT, Sri Srinivas Raju sir, who is a professional civil engineer, for this inauguration program. I welcome you, sir. I welcome Professor R.C. Shanmukha sir, the man of greenery, the Joint Secretary of SSVBSS and Dean Administration for this inauguration program. On behalf of all the staff members, I take this opportunity to welcome Sri M.K. Manohar, the Treasurer of SSVBSS, for this auspicious function. Welcome you. Professor Y. Jayasimha sir, well known as YJ, the Founder Trustee of SSVBSS, is serving the institution as Dean Academics and mentoring Department of PCE and giving valuable advices in steering the activities in the institution. I welcome you for this auspicious program, sir. It's my privilege and honor to welcome Sri Narayan Raju, Founder Trustee, Enable Administrator, currently serving as Administrative Officer of SAVI Institute of Technology, who takes instrumental role in vital decisions. On behalf of everyone present here, I welcome you, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome Srimati Mamata Yelke, the Registrar of SAVI Institute of Technology for this program. Welcome you, madam. Probably in my life, this is the first time I am conducting such blended program. Probably many of you will also agree with my comment on this. This is an offline and online program. All of us are participating in offline. Parents are participating in online, students are participating in online, and guests are participating in online. All this is made possible because of my deans, HODs, faculties, and staff. They are my strength. They are the strength of this institution. I welcome all the deans, HODs, faculty, and staff of SAVI Institute of Technology. The main attraction for the day, the guests for today's function, the 2020 batch of students and their parents. So on behalf of the management, the HODs, faculty and staff, I heartily welcome all the 2020 batch students and their parents for the SAVI Vidya family. Welcome you all. Once again, I heartily welcome all the people who are present for this function, which is a mark of beginning of 4-year journey for 13 batch of students of Science and Institute of Technology. Welcome you all. Thank you. With the permission of the president of the function and all the dignitaries, I would like to propose and present a brief report. Brief and PPT is part of the brief and the portfolio. But the brief again, I'm a little selfish in communicating the information to the parents and students because I'm a computer science man. I strongly believe information and communication is power. The 2020 batch students, the 13 batch students are entering the course of Science and Institute of Technology. Students and parents will become important stakeholders of this institution. Now, the Science and Institute of Technology will become part of their life. So that is the case. It is my duty to convince evidentially that they have joined one of the best institutions and their wards are in very safe hands. So without much delay, I will start my presentation. I request technical team to
Beauty.
Okay. Sorry.
now I would like to present the institution report. Once again, management, principal, deans, HODs, faculties, and staff heartily welcome all the first year students of batch 2020 and parents to SAVI Vidya family. About SAVI Vidya Institute of Technology. SAVI Vidya Institute of Technology started in the year 2008, affiliated to Vidya Technological University, Belagavi, Karnataka, approved by ACT New Delhi. We have 6 UG program, 1 PG program, and 8 research center offering MSc engineering by research and PhD programs. The total number of faculty is 96, with a faculty student ratio of 1:20 and number of students is around 1,500. BE Electronics and Communication Engineering started in 2008 with 120 intake. BE Electrical and Electronics with 60 intake. BE Computer Science Engineering 60 intake. BE Information Science and Engineering with 60 intake, and BE Mechanical Engineering with 60 intake, and Civil Engineering with 60 intake. Master of Business Administration program with 60 intake, and total intake of the institution is 40. Coming out of the visionaries who are behind this institution. This is the uniqueness of this institution because this is an institution run by technical professors who have served colleges like RV, RMSIT, and now they are, say, promoting SAVI of technology. Professor Imar Bulla, President of SSBVSS, former principal of RVCE and founder director of RMSIT, recipient of prestigious Karnataka Rajyotsava Award from Government of Karnataka for academic excellence in 2003 and Best Director Award from VT in 2014. Professor A.M. Padmareddy, who has done his BE MTech in Computer Science and Engineering and currently pursuing his PhD. The Vice President of SSVVSS, a postgraduate in CSC from Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal, a popular teacher and author of many books in computer science and engineering. Sri R. Srinivas Raju, BE and MTech in Highway Engineering from Rasta Volvo, is the Secretary of SSVVSS, a practicing civil engineer. He is again an alumni of RV College of Engineering. Professor R.C. Shankarika Swami has done his Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, MTech EEE. He is serving as Joint Secretary of SSVVSS. He is a postgraduate from College of Engineering, Guindy, Anna University, Chennai. A popular professor in EEE with 3 decades of teaching experience and has served RVCE for more than 2 decades. Professor Y. Jayasimha has done his BE in ECE, MTech in ECE, and currently pursuing his PhD. He is a founder trustee, is a postgraduate from JNTU Hyderabad, an eminent professor in the field of electronics and communication engineering, and served RVCE for more than 2 decades, and he has got more than 30 years of experience. Professor C. M.K. Manohar, founder trustee and treasurer, a leading chartered accountant working for many software organizations and MNCs, and is an expert in finance and management. Sri Narayan Raju, founder trustee, has around 3 decades of administrative experience in RVCE and RNSIT, and currently he is serving as administrative of SVIT Institute of Technology. My dear parents, this is an evidential fact that your wards are in safe hands. A highly educated, experienced people in technical education are promoting this institution and very actively involved in the growth of this institution, so you can be rest assured. SVIT Institute of Technology started with the motto, vision, and vision. The motto of the institute is to learn to lead. The vision of SVIT Institute of Technology is to contribute dedicated, skilled, intelligent engineers and business administrators to architect strong India and the world. The mission of SVIT Institute of Technology is to impart quality technical education and higher moral ethics associated with skill training to suit the modern day technology with innovative concepts for us to learn to lead the future with full confidence. Our focus, high quality academic instruction, innovation, and industry interface, supported by, fueled by enrichment of curriculum, competency in teaching and research, student-centric initiatives, quality infrastructure, industry partnerships, and a transparent governance. For first year parents, this is very important information. For first year students, this is very important to know. The mandatory committees which are functioning for a disciplined environment to facilitate students involves anti-ragging committee, anti-ragging flying squad. I proudly announce and say that SVIT Institute of Technology is a ragging-free campus, so parents need not have to worry about that. There is a lot of discipline measures that have been taken with respect to curbing of ragging menace, and thanks to my senior students, say, who follow such discipline acts and behave, say, as a professional. Anti-sexual harassment committee for the welfare of female students and female staff members. Anti-sexual harassment squad, grievance redressal cell, We have online grievance portal. If the parents has got any grievance, they can send their grievance through online portal in the college website, savidya.ac.in. We have a separate cell for helping SC/ST students, women's cell, OBC cell for helping the OBC students, scholarship committee for helping the students for filing their scholarship applications, PMSS coordinators for students from Jammu and Kashmir, cultural committee for promoting the extracurricular activities, sports committee again for enriching the sportsman spirit, hostel committee to take care of hostel, students council for bringing transparent governance in the institution. Some of our best practices includes a proctorial system, student council, student-centric teaching learning process for efficient implementation of outcome-based education, SAVI YouTube channel, subject blogs, industry partnerships, Center for Incubation, Entrepreneurship and Innovation Cell, student feedback system and best outgoing awards. Coming out of the proctorial system, as a first year parents, please note this is the strength of SAVI Institute of Technology. The students will be handled for next 4 years by a proctor. 20 students are attached to one teacher, where the teacher will act as a proctor or a mentor. He will be the single point of contact for all the parents. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನೀವು ಆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಂಬರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋನ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಆ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮುಂದಿನ 4 ವರ್ಷ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನೇ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳಿದ್ರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಮೊದಲು ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Proctors will follow up with the students with respect to their academic progress and academic issues is concerned. Suppose if there is any issues beyond academics, we also have Srimati Chetana Srinivas, a professional counselor, to handle emotional related and beyond academics issues with the students. Depression ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈ ತರದ ಏನೋ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ they can contact Chetana Srinivas. Even parents can come and talk to Madam Chetana Srinivas and get their problem solved and counseled. Parents proctors meeting will be held every semester to interact with the parents. What is the impact of this? It is giving the improved results. The student council is again to bring in the transparency in the administration. Class representative will become the part of the student council. Prati section in the ಎರಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ student council ಗೆ representation ತಗೋತೀವಿ. They will interact with the HODs and principal and discuss about the grievances, issues with respect to academics, administrative issues or problems, if any, or grievances, if any, and we try to sort out that. Other student-centric initiatives and best practices includes use of modern learning methods like POGL activities, blended learning, collaborative learning, assignments and self-learning, quizzes, effective usage of IC. Helps in better learning experience and improved results. Today, industry needs students to know beyond books. Their percentage can take them only to the interview hall, but that will not help them in succeeding. They have to learn beyond what is there in their textbooks. To enrich, to nurture such talents, we use innovative teaching methodologies so that students are involved in learning process. Industrial visits, internships, projects to publications, book certification, subject blocks, and SAVI YouTube channel are some of the unique teaching learning methodologies adopted in the institution and yielding a lot of good results. POGL is process-oriented guided inquiry learning, where students will participate in the learning process, which is a proven theory, proven pedagogy, teaching pedagogy, which will help students in involving in the learning process, and it's a student-centric teaching learning process. SAVI YouTube channel for lecture videos. Sir, ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಇವಾಗೇನು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡೌಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವನೊಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ ಅಥವಾ ಇವತ್ತೇನು ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ನು ಬರಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇತ್ತು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ all online videos are there in our YouTube channel, what is called as SAVI YouTube channel. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅದನ್ನ ಆ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದು ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ 10 ಸಾರಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಮನನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ this is one important teaching learning methodology that has been say implemented in Science Institute of Technology, probably only one college, say in Bangalore or maybe in Karnataka also, where all videos are loaded in the YouTube channel. Subject blocks for all subjects. The notes ಬೇಕು, previous question papers ಬೇಕು, previous short question papers ಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವರು ಓದ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. So this is again another unique feature that has been created by the institution. Skill development initiatives include MOOC courses, massive open online courses, professional society activities, industry MOUs, industry-oriented trainings, placement training, and career guidance program. The Science Institute of Technology from day one believes in comprehensive development of the student, because industry needs much beyond academics. So through these activities, we are trying to prepare our students, make them industry ready. Science Institute of Technology has got an NPTEL local chapter, which offers massive open online courses from IIT for both students and faculty. So ಈ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ನಾವು ಆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಅವರು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು IIT ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ಸ್ ನಡೆಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಆ ತರ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ರೆಡಿನೆಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗೆಟ್ BE ಆನರ್ಸ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. 2018ರಿಂದ ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ್ವರಯ್ಯ ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ VTU has come out with a concept of BE honors degree, where a student say if you can complete 20 additional credits, you will get a BE honors degree. Parents should encourage their wards for targeting for an honors degree. The professional student chapters are very important. Every department is associated with a professional chapter. CSCIAC has got CSI and IEEE. Mechanical engineering has got ISHRE and SCAE. Department of EC has got 2 IEEE societies. Department of EEE has got again an IEEE Power Systems and Energy System Society. Department of Civil Engineering has got Association of Consulting Civil Engineers. ಈ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಸೊಸೈಟೀಸ್ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗಮನ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. These are some of the activities conducted through these professional societies. ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗೋದ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅಗೇನ್ trying to convince and evidentially prove that Science Institute of Technology creates enormous amount of platforms for the overall development of the students. ನನ್ನ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೇನೆ, ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ತಾವುಗಳು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಉತ್ತೇಜನ ಕೊಡಿ, ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ, so that they can utilize these platforms, so that they can groom themselves as a professional engineers. These are some of the workshops conducted through professional societies. ಪ್ರತಿ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 3 ರಿಂದ 4 ವರ್ಕ್ಶಾಪ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Google Cloud Readiness Program conducted in association with Google company. Microsoft certifications on IoT and trans-platform mobile applications conducted in association with Microsoft or Microsoft certification. So you name something, it is there in our institution for the betterment of the student. Anything say which is for the betterment of the student, we are the first to implement. These are some of the MOUs, industry partnerships that currently Science Institute of Technology is trying to operate. So let me say that recently we have signed MOU with Lab to Market. It is a company on campus which provides internship to the students and research projects for the students. We strongly believe in practical exposure. Students are sent for internships. These are some of the photographs, project exhibition. Every project is converted to the paper, and finally it gets ended up with a project exhibition for the junior students. These are some of the best projects which have come in the newspapers. ತೆಂಗಿನ ನಾರಿನಿಂದ ಬಸ್ಸು ತಂಗಿ ನಿಲ್ದಾಣ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಇದೆ ಅದು. Last year, students won the first prize at university level from Department of EC. R&D activities and research grants. Currently, we have 18 research guides, 26 faculty pursuing their PhD, 8 departments are recognized for research centers from BTU for offering MSc engineering and PhD programs. Currently, 5 ongoing sponsored projects with a funding of around 65 lakhs. 7 patents have already been filed. So this is an evidential fact that even though SAVI Institute of Technology is a young institution of 13 years old, but intellectually we are very strong. We have a lot of passion in giving the best to the students and creating the best ecosystem for the students to get up to their best. These are some of the R&D proposals and funds submitted. So this is again a unique activity that is being conducted in the institution. So number students who ಬೇರೆ country ಹೋಗಿ internship ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. But for the first time in the state of Karnataka in Bangalore, we have called for 2 French students visited our campus for 3 months internship program. That is what is the strength of SAVI Institute of Technology. So this is the photograph of 2 students, Emily David and Matthew Horsico. Milla doubt into the parents again, sir. Placement here. The Department of Training and Placement is very active and steered by Dr. Pradeep PO and Professor Neetu Mane, Deputy Placement Officer. The students are trained in communication, soft skills, and technical skills to meet the industry requirements. And there is a serious method being followed, a methodical process being followed to train the students, making them industry ready. This is the partial list of companies that will visit our campus for student placement. Other facilities, hostel, those who are looking for hostel, both boys and girls hostel, a very hygienic menu and the kitchen and the hostel is being provided in the campus. The strict vigilance. All SOP procedures are followed for prevention of COVID-19. Library and Information Center. Currently, we have 16,975 plus 11,000. Totally 26,000 volumes of book. Students can avail 3 books so for his studies. Government scholarships, in particular, parents and students get a government scholarship for the OBC in Bodu, very category, SC category. Scholarships for the separate section in there. Please tell your wards to submit the application in time so that we can facilitate the government scholarships. Uniform, college mandates uniform for every student, particularly for laboratory, and it will be provided in the college only. Customized stitching will be done from the college side. A lab manual and other study materials will be provided every year. Communication through email. All the communication for the students, including VTU circulars, examination circulars, important circulars from the college, comes through email. Everyone is given with the sign of the email ID. Parents and ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ವಿನಂತಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾರು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅವ್ರು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಲಾಗಿನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೀವು ಆ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಸ್ವಾಸ್ಗೆ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್, ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. English classes are conducted for improving the communication because communication is power. So this will help the students for improving their communication through Professor Sujata Mukherjee, who is a Canadian certified English professor. Some of the international level achievements includes 26 students from SAVI Institute of Technology have visited more than 10 countries. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಈ ತರದ ಒಂದು ಸಾಧನೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದೆ? ನಮ್ಮ SAVI Institute of Technology 26 ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ 10 ದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದೆ for presenting the research papers in top international conferences. These are some of the photographs. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ PG level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, but now we are trying to give some focus, give platforms at the UG level so that they can gear up the best possible extent. These are some of the achievements. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ we are also getting some funds. These are the students who have got funds for going abroad. ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ದುಡ್ಡೇನು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. The college also sponsors to some extent, and say the department professors are trying to promote students through agencies like IEEE, SPIE, ANIE, where they try to fund the students. Other extracurricular activities, we have an active NCC from this year onwards. National Cadet Corps, NCC Group HQ, A Karnataka and Goa Directorate, 3/1 point NCC, First Karnataka Signal Regiment NCC is started from this year. NSS is very active. Ella parents who ಒಂದು ನಾನು ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ 2018ರಿಂದ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಸಮಾಜದೆಡೆಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವಂತ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅದು ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್. So students has to participate and gain 100 points by participating in social related activities. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ NSS ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. NSS supports such activity points and these are the mandatory points that every student has to take it. These are all some of the camps that have been organized. SVIT in media. We are also very good in sports. Coming to academics, we have recorded on an average 85 to 90% of results. Academics ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹಿಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕರಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೋ ಕರಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. We are trying to give best platforms. In sports, we stand 17th in the university. These are some annual events. As usual, Sanchalana, Tech Vidya, graduation day, project exhibition, best valedictorian, and ultimately, 4 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗ 4 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಫೈನಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಷನ್ ಡೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಅಲ್ಯುಮಿನಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. These are all some of the iconic activities that are being conducted by the institution. This is the brief report of SAVI Institute of Technology. Any information, please, you can contact the proctor, contact the HOD and contact me for the issues and grievances. With this, I end up my brief report. Thank you. If I have taken some time, it is my selfishness because I will not be able to get all the parents in one group, in one slot. That's the reason I might have encroached some time. I apologize with the dignitaries. Please forgive me. Thank you.
Sir, presenting a brief report about SVIT in a very crisp manner. On behalf of everyone, I would like to welcome our principal, sir, for this inaugural function. I request Dr. Lakshmi Narayana, mathematics, to welcome sir with the book. Now request Dr. Lakshmi Narayana, sir, Professor and HOD Mathematics, to introduce the podium our chief guest for today's inaugural program, Shri Veereshananda Saraswati Swamiji, Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashrama.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, namaskar. It is a great honor for me to introduce today's chief guest, Sri Veereshananda Saraswati Swamiji on this occasion. Sri Veereshananda Saraswati Swamiji is the president of Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashrama, Tumakuru. Swamiji obtained his Bachelor of Engineering degree in Electronics and Communication from Mysore University. Swamiji's initiation into spiritual life during the year 1988. Swamiji's source of inspiration is most revered Swami Purushothamananda Ji Maharaj, Ramakrishna Mission. Important programs in which Swamiji participated and delivered lectures as follows. Special discourse in All India Ramakrishna Vivekananda Bhava Prachara Parishad Convention held at Belur Math Headquarters, Ramakrishna Mission, Kolkata, West Bengal. Fourth World Parliament of Religions during July 2004 at Barcelona, Spain. Special discourse in the National Cultural Festival at Turin, Italy in the year 2006 and 2012. 150th birthday anniversary celebration of Swami Vivekananda and consecration of Sri Lalita Parameshwari idol at Geetananda Ashrama in Alte, Italy during 2012. Chief guest on 2018 International Yoga Day in Rome and Milan. Vedagosha program at the residence of His Holiness Pope Francis in Vatican. Special invitee on 2018 International Yoga Day in Paris, France. Special satsangs in London at Nehru Center, Indian Embassy, Swami Narayana Gurukula and Sri Lankan community. Akka Sammelana in USA in the year 2012. International Leadership Training Camp at Seoul, South Korea in 2007. Special discourses for students in more than 70 engineering colleges and more than 100 degree colleges. Swamiji's effective programs on Vidyarthi Devo Bhava. Special discourses for more than 10 lakh students in the last 25 years. Scholarship schemes for financially poor students. Competitive written examinations on books based on personality development have been conducted for around 1.5 lakhs high school students in Tumkuru district and the neighboring 5 districts from 1992 to 2015. Vivekananda Yuvaka Sangha for boys, Nivedita Niketana for girls, and the Balaka Sanghas guiding youths on values. Swamiji's programs on Acharya Devo Bhava, discourses for more than 1 lakh teachers, TCS students, lecturers, and professors. Vivekananda Devanishta Shikshaka Sangha, guidance to teachers on moral and spiritual topics. Swamiji's programs on Dina Devo Bhava. Sri Mata Sri Sharada Devi's birthday is celebrated as Jivanta Durga Puja Day every year. On this occasion, poor and destitute women dwelling in the slums are invited to ashram and worshipped as Holy Mother Sharada Devi herself. They are given food grains, cloths, and fed sumptuously. More than 8,000 poor women have been benefited by this program in the last 18 years. Swamiji's literary activities are as follows. Swami Vivekananda and Manava Abhideya book published by Tumkuru University. Audio CDs of discourses published by Vocal Institute, Bengaluru. Arive Guru, an audio CD of discourses published by Radio Siddhartha, FM radio station of Sri Siddhartha University, Tumkuru. Shankara Bhavat Padara Bhakti Sudhi, an audio CD of Bhajanas. Jivana Darshana, Marga Darshana programs on Doordarshan and Chintana programs on All India Radio. Editor of Viveka Deepti, bi-monthly magazine of Tumkuru Ashrama. Swamiji obtained various honors and awards. Honorary doctorate by Tumkuru University in the year 2011. Siddhaganga Sri Shivakumara Award by world-renowned Siddhaganga Math during 2017. Area Award in the year 2014 by the prestigious Canara Education Society, Mangaluru. So now we request our distinguished chief guest, Sri Veereshananda Saraswati Swamiji, to address the participants.
To walk safely through the maze of human life, one needs the light of wisdom and guidance of nurture. I humbly request the chief guest for today's inaugural program, Sri Veereshananda Saraswati Swamiji, Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashrama, Tumkur, to share with us his words of wisdom. Over to you, sir.
Om Pavitram Charitam Yasyaha Pavitram Jivanam Tatha Pavitrata Swarupinyai Tasyai Kurmo Namo Namaha. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. Salutations at the holy feet of Divine Almighty. My respects to very elderly personality, a renowned professor, a well-known educationalist in the field of technology, my most respected Professor Hullaji. I feel myself fortunate to get associated with a galaxy of such luminaries in the present context. The galaxy includes Professor M. Channabasappa of SIT Tumkur, and we have so many luminaries who are guiding the technical institutions all over the country. I have heard much about Professor Hulla, who really gave a new perspective to technical education in Karnataka state in particular. His wonderful tenure as principal of RV College, which could influence great souls like Dr. Satyanarayan, who later on became Chief Executive Officer of PSIT, Dr. S.C. Sharma, a very good friend of mine, right now who is the Director of NAC, and we have Dr. Ramamurthy, who succeeded our Professor Hullaji in RV. Such great souls today, they have proved their worth in improving the technological educational scenario of Karnataka state in particular. When Professor Hullaji is leading the team, when he has become the engine for this wonderful vehicle, what more I can say about the institution which is conducting the induction program today? I mean, the inauguration of the first year classes. The very name Sai Vidya includes the blessings of Goddess Saraswati and the blessings of a great soul, a great saint of this holy soil, Sai Bhagavan. I was really astonished to see what a laudable amount of work has been executed in the last 13 years of its existence. The Sai Vidya institution, it has proved beyond doubt that within a very short span, they could not only contribute very good technocrats to the society, they are not only successful in exporting more than 28 wonderful engineering graduates from the institution to different countries of the world. At the same time, they have become successful in attracting the foreign students also to pursue their education in Sai Vidya institution. My congratulations to the management and my good wishes to all the teaching faculty who have tried their best. I mean to say, beyond expectation, to the best of their ability, they have proved their worth. And my dear parents, really you are lucky to have your children getting admitted to this esteemed institution, and definitely in 4 years, our children will be turned out as very good moral, ethical graduates for our society to build future India. My respects to Honorable Principal Dr. Ramesh, and my respects and regards to all the management committee members, the teaching faculty, respected parents, and my love and good wishes to all my young brothers and sisters who have joined this institution and right now who are studying in different years of engineering in this institution. I belong to Kolar district, a place called Holali near Devaraya Samudram. I had my primary education up to high school in Siddhartha Education Society, founded by a great soul, Dr. H.M. Gangadharya, an ardent follower of Mahatma Gandhi in those days. The institution being governed and advised by Dr. G. Parameshwar right now, who happened to be the former Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka. Dr. Parameshwar did his PhD from Australia. He was professor in plant physiology in GKVK, a very good educationalist, and later on, respecting the desire of the people, he entered politics. But more than a politician, he is an academician. When I was pursuing my engineering in Mysore University, he was doing his PhD in Australian University. So later on, I went to Basangudi National College to pursue my PU after my high school education. Later on, I went to Chikmagalur, Adi Chanchanagiri Institute of Technology, to pursue my engineering in the field of electronics and communication. I had a great band of very good teachers and professors. Dr. S.T. Nagaraj, my principal. Dr. Madhu Kumar, my head of the Department of Electronics and Communication. Dr. C.K. Subraya, who is presently the registrar of Adi Chanchanagiri University. My teachers like Professor Nandakumar, Dr. A.M. Leela, Giri Prakash. We had a band of very good teachers in those days. And after going through the entire details that was put forth by our faculty, I felt very happy in the beginning because so many facilities have been given to our children to pursue their education today. But I started remembering my days 37 years back when I joined engineering. In the tenure of 4 years of my engineering existence as a student there, my father did visit the institution only once. But today, you have a contact number for the campus selection board. You have a mobile connection for library. You have a person interested with the responsibility of catering the discipline. You have a person whom you should contact if anything goes wrong in the campus life, particularly something like ragging, so on and so forth. So I think more or less our SAVI Vidya Engineering College is like my high school days. So much of caring the children of today's society. On one side, I feel children are very much protected. On another side, it is a little bit a worry in my mind. Does a boy who has crossed 18 years of age wants so much of vigilance like observation from the teachers, from the parents, from the elders of the institution? I am not commenting on what all the facilities the institution has extended to our children. Rather, I pity our children for the reason why they are so much of dependent as far as the life from outside their residence is concerned. All right. Taking the modern challenges into consideration, my dear children, the parents and the teachers, They have determined to protect you in all possible ways. And you are really lucky so that you can concentrate exclusively for your studies and prove your worth by the time you complete your engineering education. My dear friends, my dear parents, please bear in your mind that education is not merely for livelihood. The word education has an ocean of difference with another word called literacy. Literacy is just making our children to know how to read and write. But what is education? It is not confined merely to reading and writing skills. Rather, education has got a wider perspective. As Swami Vivekananda beautifully said, education is information in the first stage, knowledge in the second stage, and it concludes finally in wisdom. We have so much of information. We can get it from Google, we can get it from our reference books, from previous year notes, so on and so forth. But my immediate question is, do you think the information can make our children intelligent, informative, and brilliant? For that, you have to exercise some other aspects in our studenthood. Yes, information will lead us to knowledge. But very unfortunately, this knowledge has been misused by majority of the people, including people like Hitler, Saddam Hussein, Bin Laden, Karim Lala, so many people who could cheat the country at large, who could turn out to be the international terrorists, and ultimately their knowledge, their intelligence and brilliance has ruined them. Here comes the greatest importance of Vivekananda's advice and Shankaracharya's philosophy of education. Sa Vidya ya vimuktayet, according to Vedanta, which means that the learning which helps you to come out of all sorts of darkness in our individual life and social life is education. Vivekananda says, unless and until your information and knowledge gets transformed into wisdom, you cannot be considered as educated in the truest sense. My dear friends, you are all just 18 plus. Fortunately or unfortunately, you have been bestowed with the right of voting now. So your one valuable vote will count to a very great extent in choosing the Prime Minister of the country right now. But at the same time, I want to ask you, have you dreamt about the importance of education? Do you really know the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Do you find any difference between livelihood and life? Do you really think that education is not confined to just collegiate or university period of learning? Do you sincerely believe that education is a lifelong process? Now it is high time for the children to have greater degree of thinking on these very important aspects. Because I can quote you a few examples. One of my friends, a good professor in Mysore University, a very, very sincere and honest man, by name Professor Hemant Kumar. He was working for some institution in Mysore. He could not tolerate the corruption that was going on. He could not even check all the malpractices that were carried out, even to a very small extent. Even he being a very sincere, honest officer, he thought he miserably failed in controlling all the things that were not expected to happen in an educational institution, finally he committed suicide. This happened 10 years back. I know personally this gentleman, excellent human being, but he became an odd man out in the team. I shall give you another example. I shared the stage with a very, very eminent educationalist of an institution. I don't want to mention the name. We honored the meritorious students. I was very much happy to honor the first rank computer engineering student of the institution. He secured 12 gold medals in the final year. He stood first in 12 subjects out of 14. And the director of the institution in his presidential address said, "My dear students, here is a great ideal before you, the model for you. You must follow his footsteps." Yes. After we got down from the stage, I felt very happy to see hundreds of students rushing towards this first rank holder, demanding for the autograph. I felt very happy. I shared this with hundreds of my well-wishers in few months after I participated in that program. After 6-7 years, I was shocked to read in the international newspapers. There was car bomb blast in London airport. A few hundred people were died. A few hundred people became physically handicapped, very much wounded. They were hospitalized. When the Interpol took a very strict decision to catch the terrorists, the brain behind these incidents, 7 terrorists were arrested, and this first rank computer graduate was one among the 7 graduates. Now, my dear parents, I want to ask you a question. My dear teachers, you are successful in preparing a first rank computer science graduate from the institution. But what motivated him, what really very aggressively, very unethically, very immorally made him to become an international terrorist? This is a very burning issue, a serious issue. We must have a very strong thinking, a very deep thinking, very impartial way to analyze the things. If you become partial we are eligible only to be partial towards truth. That is most important. I was invited to BNMIT to deliver keynote address on the subject, the challenges and perspectives in technical education in 20th century. Dr. Maheshappa, the then Vice Chancellor of VTU, inaugurated it. In his inaugural address, he said, yes, we have assured the companies, the software companies in Bangalore and in Karnataka, that whatever type of skilled technocrats they require, we are ready to supply from our universities. Maheshwarappa happened to be my senior in engineering. He studied in BDT Engineering College, Davangere. After the program, he had some other important program to participate. He left the stage. And in my keynote address, I said, so I want to refer Maheshappa's words, and I presented my opinion in the midst of more than 1,000 students. The program was organized by Dr. Narayan Mane, the secretary of BNMIT Bangalore. I said, see, Vivekananda insisted every young man to become educated in the truest sense. We must prepare educateds in the truest sense and let our technical knowledge be one of the important arrows in our basket. The basket need not become only the container of only what is integral 0 to pi by 2 sine to the power of 4x dx. What is something like Le Chatelier principle, law of mass action, Haber's process, exothermic reaction in chemistry. What is something like the total internal reflection or hydrogenation of ions in organic chemistry. What is something like the analog electronic circuit, Millman and Hall case, digital Millman and Taub, Van Valkenburg, the circuit phenomenon in engineering, or something like Gaonkar, microprocessor, TV engineering, Gulati, so on and so forth. We want educators, the true human beings. In the true human being, let our educational aspect, my technical aspect of education, be one of the important arrows in my basket. I cannot have the whole basket as mere technical or educational basket. I said, I don't want to produce only such engineers to gift to the companies as such. Rather, I want to gift good human beings to the institutions so that they will be not only human, they will be humane in their attitude. I think Professor Hollaji will agree with me. I am a regular invitee to Manipal Institute, University of Banking, and near Jakkur. I visit the institution to address the newly inducted MBA graduates into different banks like ICICI, Kotak, Mahindra, so on and so forth. I will have a beautiful title to deliver lecture, something like Ethics in Business. But my good friend who is heading the institution, he speaks to me over phone and says, Swamiji, tell our young MBA graduates who have more than 75% of percentage, the progress in their MBA, but they neglect time discipline. They lose temper while dealing with the customers. They don't know how to respect the elders. They don't know how to, with love and affection, how to deal with the youngsters, the customers. Swamiji, please shed some light on these important aspects of their profession. My dear teachers and parents, I'm asking you a direct question. Your lad is graduated in engineering or MBA or something like that. But the human behavior is lacking in our children aged 22 plus. Why is this due to? We are making our children technically strong. We are making our children intellectually brilliant. But we have conveniently neglected the human aspect of personality. Here comes the importance of Swami Vivekananda. Before going to what Vivekananda said, I want to quote the words of Ortega Gasset, a great educationalist who authors a text called Mission of Universities. In his book, he says, every graduate, irrespective of whether he is from science, arts, commerce, or technology as branch, he is expected to have at least some knowledge about these 5 fundamental areas of human life. Number 1, the physical scheme of the universe. Even though you are a graduate of arts, you must know something about physics and chemistry. This is the physical scheme of the universe. Number 2, the fundamental theme of organic life, that is biology. Number 3, the historic process of human species. The child must know the history of his country very much. Number 4, the structure and functioning of the social life. The child must know something about sociology. And finally, he says, the plan and purpose of the universe. That means the child must know some philosophy, culture, and religion. I studied in Chikmagalur. I was very fond of going through the life and teachings of Vivekananda. I went to the library and took the 6 volumes of Vivekananda's complete works in those days. The librarian was very happy. He offered me a cup of tea. I asked him why. He said, in the history of the college, you are the first student to ask the book of Vivekananda. You just imagine. See what an amount of interest we have created in the minds of our children to go through the life and teachings of great souls like Shankaracharya, Swami Vivekananda, and luminaries pertaining to any important field. For example, Sir M. Vishweshwaraya. Vishweshwaraya, he became a synonym to the word engineer. He is recognized universally. Every student must have a photograph of Vishweshwaraya on his study table. And what an amount of difficulties he passed through. We must study Vivekananda, Vishweshwaraya and Vivekananda. See, Vivekananda, he very much insists every human being to lead a life of strength, confidence, courage. Whatever Vivekananda has taught us as a monk, that has been practically implemented by Vishweshwaraya as a technocrat. Mark Twain defines courage like this. Courage is not absence of fear. Courage is not running away from fear. Rather, courage is welcoming fear, facing fear, fighting against fear, managing fear properly, and transforming fear into success, and getting the strongest conviction that fear is nothing but the success in a different form. Strength is life, weakness is death is the greatest message of Vivekananda. You are the maker of your own destiny, the greatest message of Bhagavad Gita. Shankaracharya says, no force can prevent you from getting what you really deserve. Unless and until you permit the external agency to defeat you, there is no force to defeat you in this world. So you are the maker of your destiny. This is the right time, my dear friends, to plan your future in a very, very big perspective, because Upanishads insist our children, insist every young man and women to think very high, think in a big way. Low aim is a crime, or the golden words of Chandogya Upanishad. Yadeva vidyaya karoti, shraddhaya upanishada, tadeva viryavattaram bhavati. You do any work with the mindset of knowledge and wisdom. You do it out of Shraddha. Let Shraddha be the greatest weapon. Upanishada, by gaining confidence from the words of great achievers in the past. And if you can completely involve yourself in the process, what you are interested with, success has to come unsought. My dear friends, Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana is Bhagavad Gita. This is, in recent centuries, has been defined as law of conservation of energy. You don't get something out of nothing. You will get something only out of something. If you take care of today, it will take care of tomorrow, because today is the result of yesterday. So you must cater, you must concentrate today. You take care of the work, it will take care of the fruit. If you go on thinking about the fruit, more and more your mind gets concentrated on fruit and its glory, grandeur, somewhere your efforts to achieve the goal, the destiny, gets diluted. That's why Vivekananda says, 2-3 very important messages of Vivekananda are of all-time relevance. My dear friends, please bear in mind. We want that type of education by which character is formed. Very unfortunately, today, so much of malpractices in the examinations, it has become rampant. You have so many fraud institutions who can give you MPhil and PhDs. Even I differ. I discriminate between a regular graduate of a university and a correspondent graduate. If I become the education minister, I cannot equate these two people. A person who is attending the classes for all 365 days will be specially considered compared to another student who did online education, I mean to say the correspondent education. We cannot equate. We cannot equate. Vivekananda says the first and the foremost fruit of education is character. What is character? Representing ourselves physically, mentally, and intellectually within the framework of moral and ethical values is character. Personality. Our youth are very fortunate of looking at the beautiful faces of the heroes and heroines of today's film world. My dear friends, I want to ask you a simple question. How far they can influence you as far as your technical education is concerned. If you read Infosys Narayan Murthy, if you read Azim Premji, if you read any great achiever in the field of science and technology, they can to a certain extent influence you. How can a film actor influence you to pursue your education in a better way? See, this is the point where exactly you are going wrong. Vivekananda can influence you because he insists you to discipline your physical, mental, intellectual strata of your personality. And ultimately, this character energy is the mother of all the energies. You should never forget this. The last aspect of Gazette was the plan and the purpose of the universe, that is, the philosophy, the culture, and religion. My dear friends, so you must know something about the religion, about spirituality, about meditation, and about the philosophy, and equally the culture of your native place, the native country. Today, very unfortunately, our children, after getting graduation, they are very fond of running away from their motherland, and more or less they are behaving as if they are refugees in their own country. This is because the education system in my country is not properly educating our children with respect to the great values, the great importance of our history. Swami Vivekananda says, we want that type of education by which character is formed, strength of the mind is increased, intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. A truly educated individual will never think of only the monetary benefits in his place of working. We should know, let us have an honorable defeat in our pursuits rather than aiming for success through unethical means. This is the true the character of an individual. If you have a young man blessed with very high percentage, and if he is inhuman, what is the use of the marks card recommended by the university? Vivekananda says, a genius is a beautiful amalgamation of the synthesis of manliness and synthesis of godliness. I may be an intellectual giant as far as my subject knowledge is concerned, but my dear friends, I must have a good heart too. What my heart thinks today, my brain will understand tomorrow. When there is a conflict between heart and brain, first I must listen to the words of my heart. We must have a feeling for our brethren. We must feel sincerely that the whole society is my own inseparable part. Atmavat sarva bhuteshu yah pashyati sapanditaha. These are the words of the great sages of India. Think in a big way. This is the way we have to think. This is the way we have to protect ourselves. The greatest protection for any individual is only the protection out of our character energy more than our intellectual and our knowledge aspect of personality. In this aspect, my dear principal, my most respected, our director ji, our Hollaji, please establish one Vivekananda Study Center in our college. And at least once in 2 months, I can visit your college. Let us have classes in segments. One time for first year, one time for second year students, one time for the pre-final year students and outgoing students also. We have so much to make them to know, because our education is not at all preparing the educateds in the truest sense. We are preparing just the literates. It pains me when we hear the utterance of one great soul. Start a good school today, thereby you can avoid 100 jails tomorrow. The country is very fond of increasing the number of jails. They assure in Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha that we are trying our best to provide one jail at least for one Hobli. Do you think it is a matter of pride? If you start a good school, you can avoid 100 jails tomorrow. See, this is the importance of education. Albert Einstein went to an extent of telling that as much as possible, I want to keep my education away from schooling. Teach our children, in one of the convocation addresses, where Albert Einstein in America delivered the keynote address, he said, teach our children the beautiful things which are morally good. This is what we found in Viduraniti, which says, all good things are beautiful, but all beautiful things need not be good. The children of today, the youth of today, they don't know exactly the difference between beautifully looking things and the morally good things. This is the reason why there is breakup in family life, why there is so much of disturbances in the families, why the people working together in an office cannot cooperate. Very unfortunate. One great man has once said, if two Indians sit together, they make three parties. The degree of cooperation is so minute, very difficult. During British rule, we were in a position to point out that this man is not tolerating my progress. But today, independent India, he is suffering more and more for the reason that we have not become citizens in the truest sense. Very unfortunately, we have become literates. More than 905 universities are working in the country. But I question you. I have attended many of the convocation addresses. They invite one technocrat. He will say, India has progressed so much. He will never say about the moral and ethical things. You ask any entrepreneur, he says, I was an ordinary man in my village. I started a company. Today I have employed 250 people. That is another story. You call another person from space research world, he will start telling that India is in the fourth position. What is it? When you are not in a position to live as a human being on earth, what matters about the importance of space? Here comes the importance of ancient Indian rishis' message. So by quoting that, I shall conclude my speech. The first convocation address in human history is Acharyopadesha from Taittiriya Upanishad. That was the first convocation address. In those days, even the children of the kings and emperors were admitted to Gurukula system of education. Usually they were in forests. The rishi, the brahmana, the couple used to cater the lively needs of all the children belonging to that age group. At 9 age, they were undergoing Upanayana Samskaram. 12 years of intense Vedic education was imparted to the pupil. So by the time they used to leave the Gurukula and get back to their parents, the senior most guru in the particular area was invited to bless the outgoing students. And in his message, he used to say, Veda mano chacharyonte vasina manushasti satyam vada dharmanchara swadhyayanma pramadaha satyanna pramaditovyam dharmanna pramaditovyam shraddhaya deyam deva pitrukaryabhyam na pramaditovyam swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditovyam. What a wonderful message it is. Every student is blessed to follow these practices even after quitting the Gurukula. What are those? Number one, respect your mother, respect your father, respect your guru, and respect the learned elderly people of your place. Never forget, study every day. Swadhyaya, that is self-study. Pravachanabhyam, whatever you have studied, you please to the best of your ability, you teach those things to your neighbors, your own brethren, your own people of the society. To the best of their ability, let them understand whatever you speak to them. Deva pitrukaryabhyam na pramaditovyam. You must perform puja of your family deity every day. Take care of your parents up to their death. Later on, after their death, you have certain rituals to remember them at least once in a year. Pitrukaryabhyam na pramaditovyam. And for any social service, for any religious and spiritual service, you must feel your responsibility. Shraddhaya deyam. Whatever you contribute, do it out of Shraddha. Ashraddhaya adheyam. You should not do it in a mind of Ashraddha. See, these are the beautiful things. And from time immemorial, the Vedic students of our culture, they are studying this message of Upanishads. My dear teachers and parents, this is exactly where we have to teach our children. Our youths are not useless, they are usedless. Our youths are not hopeless, they are hopeless. See, as a graduate of engineering, I too had a distinction in my engineering. I was one among the first 100 ranks of Karnataka and second PU with 100 out of 100 in mathematics. I was fortunate enough to have mathematics 100 out of 100 half a dozen times in my life. I stood first to my high school. But I want to make one thing very clear, my dear parents. What is that? Can we really prepare a young personality with a good mind and good heart? That will suffice. We want good people more than intelligent people. Yes, not mere good people, of course. Is he good? Is he good? If so, he is good for what? Is the question we are facing in this society. That means to say, in ignorance is not innocence, but sin. Ignorant or dangerous, but culturally ignorant are more dangerous in this society. That's why we must shed light in the matters of philosophy, spirituality, human ethics, the humanities, so that our children can have a wonderful personality to face the challenges of day-to-day life. And not only they can make their life successful, they can get transformed from the stage of an individual to the stage of an institution. This is what I expect from every student of Sri Sai Vidya Institute of Technology. Thank you very much for extending me an opportunity today to be of some use by sharing my thoughts with my young friends. And more than what I did from my part, I enjoyed the history of the institution. And really, I am seriously thinking soon after the environment gets transformed into a healthy environment, I shall visit the institution as early as possible and spend some time with a great luminary like our Hollaji and all. I thank once again the management for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts today on this occasion of the inauguration of the first year students. I wish all our children a great life, a ethical and morally strong future life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Swamiji, for your thought-provoking address about the importance of education today, building our character to be a better human. Your kind words of gesture and your guidance and your divine blessings are very much essential to all of us to lead a meaningful life. Thank you, Swamiji. Moving on, I now request Dr. Jogesh Sir, Professor and HOD Department of MBA, to introduce before you our guest of honor for today's inaugural program, Ms. Rukmini Giridhar, Head, Learning and Organization Development, Strides Pharma Science Limited.
Good morning, everybody. Before I fulfill the responsibility of introducing the guest of honor, I seek the blessings of Swamiji, dignitaries for today's function, students and parents for our newly introduced journey called Sai Vidya First Grade College, which is offering BCom and BBA programs affiliated to Bangalore Central University. This is a new institution under the SSVV SS Trust, motivated and run by a group of academicians led by Professor Madam. I pray to the Chief Guest, Swamiji, kindly bless us in this journey forward of Mullah Sir and his band of academicians. Thank you. I'm Dr. Jogesh. It's an honor for me to introduce the guest of honor for today's program, Rukmini Giridhar, an expert in talent, learning, organization development strategy, to execution specialist, D&I evangelist, and cultural leader. Rukmini is a seasoned HR leader with over 22 years of blended business partnering and center of excellence experience. She has driven large-scale integration, change, and organization development projects. She believes in being deeply rooted in business, drawing performance outcomes as a business partner. In COE roles, she led concept to commercialization, breakthrough initiatives in talent, OD, leadership, and cultural initiatives. Rukmini has worked in manufacturing, healthcare, consulting, retail, and FMCG with high growth organizations in India and enjoys the energy of dynamic organizations. She has been a key contributor in the area of culture and inclusion and diversity, leading capability development programs to build competence as well as to create awareness about L&D on a large scale. She believes in aligning learning initiatives with business outcomes that successfully demonstrate return on investment for the organization. She holds an MBA degree in HR and is accredited to administer scientific tools for deeper understanding and assessment in people development such as Hogan Assessment, DISC, OPQ, and JDI. She is a Six Sigma Green Belt holder, a Prosky Chain Management Practitioner, Bellville Certified Coach, and is trained in appreciative inquiry. She is undergoing coach training for a certification in ACC from ICF. She is deeply passionate about enabling key shifts in behaviors, person by person, team by team, that fuels growth for people and unlocks value for the organization. Her area of expertise includes talent, learning and OT strategy, intuitive business partnering and strong execution, change and integration, OT interventions, learning design, leadership development, inclusion, diversity, organization culture. Ma'am, we thank you for taking your time out today, being a Sunday, but still you have agreed to be with us today. We are honored by your presence. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me. I'm honored to be part of this event today. In fact, when Dr. Pradeep called me last week to ask me if I would address this group, honestly, I was very nervous, of course, but also envious, because for me, this is the first generation of students in a world which is completely changed, and the context has completely been reimagined in a way that we could have never thought before. But all of us risen to the occasion. We have risen to the changes. It's been very hard. It's been a tough journey for most people, but the way we recalibrated, the way we adapted to the new changes, the way we changed our own behaviors, I think speaks a lot about us. So I'm incredibly amazed at especially in the field of education, with the academicians, the educationists, parents, students, teachers, for taking the last year in their stride and ensuring that learning never stops. So incredibly grateful to all of you for keeping the drive of education going on, even though it must have been really hard and tough. I know that because I've seen my own children go through that. And with that, what I really want to talk about is, 2020 is a year that, normally many of us would like to forget. But it's going to be very hard to forget, because there are certain key lessons that we have learned in 2020 which we should not forget. And I'm going to just talk about a couple of them because there are many. The first thing is, this is a watershed year where we've had life altering changes. We've changed the way we live, we've changed the way we work. The entire initiative about future of work, which all of you may have heard of, suddenly came to our doorstep. So whether it was the future of work or the workforce, the workplace, the work experience, it is no longer a white paper or a research document or a project that we are working on. It is here now, and we are working on the future of work now. So that is a key message that I wanted to land with all of you. The second thing which happened is accelerated digital learning. You know, as a L&D head of organizations, I've always struggled with, bringing learning to learners instead of taking learners away from their work. And I think what has happened is, knowingly, unknowingly, 2020 has really forced us to look at learning in a different way. And therefore, digital has really accelerated at a pace which is unprecedented. Today, in the pharma organization that I lead L&D for, it's a manufacturing setup, very difficult for people to, for us to take people out of their workplace to, attend seminars and training programs. But the way pharma has embraced learning is amazing. The kind of programs that we have run, the number of hands that people have put up to enjoy more and more learning has been unseen of, especially in the pharma world. So things are changing. The way we work is changing itself. I think the third lesson that I would want to leave with all of you is, and Swamiji spoke about it, is the whole ability of us as humans to embrace humaneness is what we were talking about. And this is really about the human ability to adapt to changes, the power of resilience that we show, which is what has made us to exist for so many millions of years, and about, of course, the whole community feeling, which again was reignited in 2020 when we became much closer to our families. We also saw the resurgence of mental health as an issue which not many people are comfortable talking about, but it's no longer something that we need to lock up in a cupboard or push under the carpet. Mental health is here to stay, and we need to be very cognizant about mental health feelings such as anger, sadness, grief, sorrow, frustration. These are all feelings that all of us go through. There is nothing wrong with it, but we need to have avenues where people can talk about it and not feel that they are being singled out or they are being talked about separately. So mental health is an issue that we need to be really cognizant about. Now, with this new context that you are entering into as the next phase of your education, at the cusp of a new phase in your life, I really would love to talk to you about 9 fundamental truths that I found very useful in my career journey. And I hope that you will take some messages out of that as you leave the safety or the comfort of your education, of your university and college, and go out into the corporate world. So the first fundamental, truth that I talk about is to follow your heart. And this is, I would love to share a story with you. When I joined my last organization, and I stayed there for about more than 10 years, which is really a lot for me as well. Um, One thing that I discovered was that immense passion for life and to celebrate life. And really, that is what made me, be a part of that organization for such a long period of time. You have to find what you love. And the moment you find what you love to do, you will find joy in it. And that is really what is called purpose. Purpose is really our core. It is not just for leaders, it is for each of us. And the day we discover our own purpose, why we do what we do, that is what brings us joy and that's what brings us fulfillment. So follow your heart and discover your purpose. That's the first fundamental truth, which I discovered very late in life, almost towards the middle of my career journey. But I would really love it if you kept asking yourselves, why am I doing what I am doing right now? Does this bring me joy? Is this what I want to do? And really, that will help you to discover your purpose in life. So follow your dream and discover your purpose. The second fundamental truth is, really what I like to talk about and that is a story that I would want to share before I get into the second fundamental truth. Is that when you transition from a campus to a corporate, it's a huge transition. It is not easy. We think that it's just stepping into corporate life, but really that requires a huge amount of change within us. You and now today I'm putting on the hat of a person who used to do a lot of hiring in my past life. Really, you are not bringing in any new skills. You are not bringing in any experience that an organization doesn't already have. But what you are bringing in is a fresh perspective. What you are bringing in is a different point of view, is an alternative mindset, and that's what an organization values. So bring that alternative mindset, bring that new way of thinking, because you guys are the new generation which is coming into a workplace. So therefore, that is what an organization looks towards. Any new batch of trainees or management and engineering batches which are hired from a campus, we look for these alternative points of view, because the way an organization thinks, it's very linear, it's extremely one way. And therefore, when fresh blood comes in, it is just giving us a different point of view, that hey, these are people who think differently, and let's value them, let's value their perspective. So for us, when you come into an organization, you are really bringing in renewal. And that's what I want to leave you with. This will not just create a place for you at the table, it will help you to reshape the table. And that's what we really want. So follow your dream, of course, follow what you love to do and discover your purpose. For me, the second fundamental truth is really about, you know, repetition builds reputation. And it is the small things that we do every day, the small, mundane, routine tasks. It is our everyday behaviors that people see us or experience us. These are the ones that, build our reputation as professionals and as future leaders. It is no matter how routine or mundane a task is, it is a step to something bigger. And when you keep repeating that and doing it better and better, that's when you are not only just building a skill, you are building your competence and ultimately you're building your capability. So look at every task as something that you are learning from, it's an experience, and therefore it is a step to something much bigger. Um, for me, passion without strategy or an action is just a unicorn dream. We all have large passions, but if we don't have a plan of action, how do we translate that passion into a roadmap? And it just remains passion. That's it. It will end there. It will not take you further. So have a plan, break your large dream into micro, into small goals, into short-term goals, and be absolutely micro ambitious about achieving those short-term goals. Because it's, while we talk about see the big picture, there are two ways to look at it. And I would say execution is as important as having that great idea in place. So don't miss the forest for the trees, but don't miss the trees for the forest. It goes both ways. So while you may have a huge idea and a wonderful plan in place, if you're not executing that well, it just remains a great plan on paper. So that's about reputation versus, repetition builds reputation. Um, the third thing that I really want to talk to you about is, skills can be learned, but values is something that you bring with yourself to an organization. And that's really what defines you. To me, the strongest values when I look for hiring is integrity and courage, because for me, those are the greatest values that individual can demonstrate not only at the workplace, but outside in life. So when we do hiring, what do we really hire for? And Swamiji referred to it, and when he talked about character. So there are only three things that an organization will look for. A, it will look for character, which is essentially how are you demonstrating yourself every day? How are people experiencing you? What is your level of integrity? Do you have courage? So that's character. The second thing that we look for is experience, and I will talk a little bit more about experience later. But experience really comes both as a depth of experience. So what is the knowledge base that you have built, as well as the width of experience? So both depth and width are equally important for us when we are looking at hiring professionals. And while at an entry level, that is not important because really we're looking at depth. As you grow in your career life, width of experience becomes even more critical. And the third thing that we look for are leadership indicators. So, for example, I would look at empathy. Empathy today is a leadership skill, which a lot of leaders talk about, but they don't demonstrate. And I will ask people questions around empathy. I will also look for clarity, because unless we have clarity in our minds on what we want to do, where we want to go, how would you lead a team? So clarity becomes very, very important as a leadership trait. The fourth trait is having your own purpose, which I referred to earlier. Why are you here? What do you love to do? And what made you choose this profession or this role or this organization? So, purpose becomes very important because that's really your North Star, that's your rallying point. And we look for purpose when we are hiring leaders. And the fourth thing that we look for is courage of conviction. That are you able to stand, to your ideals or to your point of view when all others are maybe criticizing you, or maybe you're alone as a person? Would you still stand by what you say? So we look for courage of conviction. So I think these are some of the things that we sort of look for when we do hiring of whether it's an entry level professional or it's a experienced professional. But some of the things that you may want to keep in mind, that this is what organizations look for. I also want to talk to you about the fourth fundamental truth that I call it is, be the hero or heroine of your own story. Don't be a victim. It's very easy for us to blame circumstance, people around us for not being able to do a certain thing or or go through a certain path or reach a certain goal. But write your own story, because if you don't, somebody else will write it for you. So then you are no longer the hero or the heroine of your own story, somebody else's. So life is all about the decisions that you make. See, we will never be able to fix everything around us, but the choices that we make today, the decisions that we take, are what basically leads us to the next growth of our journey or the next phase of our career. So take the decisions. Don't be afraid to take decisions. Could be wrong. It is okay. It's okay to fail. But if you don't take decisions, then somebody else will take a decision for you. And really, that is again getting somebody else to write your own story. So it's when you connect these dots, because experiences shape us. They shape us into who we are today or who we will become tomorrow. It is then you will see the pattern or the trends that are emerging. So I'd like to share a short story. When I was very young, and this was not just this is my second job actually. I had moved to Mumbai from Kolkata, because I'm born and brought up in Kolkata. For me, that was a huge change, and I got an opportunity to work in a consulting firm in Mumbai. And the first thing that I was told when I on my first day was that we are not HR people. So you are the only HR professional, and how you create the HR function in this organization depends on you. So early responsibility, I was not sure whether I was ready for that responsibility, and I wasn't ready for that. My first job was, I was very well protected by my organization, didn't have to take many decisions. But here I was going to lead a function which was not there and had not been created. So it was a huge amount of responsibility. And to be very honest, for the first 6 months of my life in that organization, I struggled, because I was very used to having someone behind me to tell me, this is what you should do. Let me advise you, or let me make that decision for you. Here, there was nobody. So I made a lot of wrong decisions. But I, of course, had a great mentor. And I was fortunate enough to be working in an organization where it was okay to make mistakes and fail. And that has been one of my greatest learning. So, be your own story writer. It's okay to take decisions even when you think that you don't have all the data or you think you will fail. That's fine. It's okay to fail small rather than do a couple of things and fail big, which is a bigger risk that you take. So the sixth fundamental truth for me is to invest in relationships, and that starts now. I think the relationships that we build now will serve us wonderfully in future. And that's one of my lessons that I learned in my last organization, which really believes more on relationships rather on tasks. And relationships basically is will always be of two kinds. One would be your inner circle, people whom you trust implicitly, and these are the people you will fall back on if you're in trouble. And the other is a larger circle of relationships, or the outer circle, which are your acquaintances, your larger network, where you will lean on them for any kind of help and support in your career journey as you progress. So I cannot stress more on the importance of investing in relationships now. And one of the things that I like to tell my teams is I realized the value of relationships much later in my life. I was always a very transactional person. For me, relationships were more task oriented. The moment my task was finished, the relationship was over. But in my last organization, I really, even today, I lean and leverage on those relationships, because right now, while I'm with Strides as an L&D head, I'm also a gig specialist. I'm in the world of, I joined the gig economy about 2 years back. And really what has made me work with some great organizations have been the strengths of these relationships. The seventh fundamental truth is be hard on your opinions. And in the new social world of social media, where it's very easy for us to pull down somebody else's opinions, to criticize, to to demoralize. It is important for us to question our own opinions as well, because we are not, nothing we say is gospel, right? It will also help you to prepare yourself better, because you will get challenged, you will get questioned, you may be doubted. So how do you prepare yourself? So be open and be hard on your own opinions. Always examine and think critically about them, and play the devil's advocate. I found this very useful when I have been doing presentations, because I used to tend to stick to a point of view. I was sorry, I was very proud of my presentations. I would not like to change a single slide, till I found out the hard way that if I didn't change it, somebody else would change it for me. So, critical thinking, having the ability to question your own self, your own ideas, being open to ideas of others, I think is a very important truth that we all must follow, not just in corporate life, but in life around us. The the seventh thing that I want to talk to you about is about loss. It's about failure and imagination. Everywhere, whether it's at work or in our lives, we may be open to challenges. We will be dismissed. We will be doubted. But what I look at is as rejection. For me, rejection is not an end. It is rather it's a beginning to something new, where I can then look at, if an idea has been rejected, or a big income has been rejected, or if I've been rejected from an organization, when I applied for a job, I look at myself as, what else can I do? What are the other doors that can open up? And so rejection is always a beginning of something new. Failure changes perspectives. It sort of strips away all the non-essentials and tells you what to focus on. Because, once you're at rock bottom, and I've hit rock bottom a couple of times in my career, the only way is the way up. There cannot be any other way down. So it gives you perspective, it strips away all your non-essentials, and it opens up imagination, because then you really think that it can't go worse than this. What can I do more? And it sort of unlocks your imagination to do something different, to do something more. Many of you would have heard of Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling. And, J.K. Rowling's in convocation speech at Harvard was amazing, and do watch it. She really talks about, if you have lived life cautiously, without risk, then you have not lived at all. And that is failure by default. So be open to taking risks. Failure is a part of life. Loss is a part of life. And these are not negative feelings. These are not negative experiences. We all have something to learn from this. So, if you want to fall, instead of falling backwards, fall forwards. So that's what the message, the eighth fundamental truth that I wanted to leave you with. The ninth fundamental and the last fundamental truth that I want to leave you with is, be a teacher. Never stop learning. Education doesn't stop when you graduate or when you move out of college. The more you learn, the more you grow. And honestly, organizations, and I will give you the organization's perspective as well. It's really about, um, you know, if an organization sees, or if your manager sees that, you have stopped learning, or you've stopped building yourselves up, you will just hit a glass ceiling sometime or the other. The idea of, from an organization's perspective, really we look at three things from a career perspective. You own your own career journey. Nobody does. Your manager does not own it. Your organization doesn't own it. You own it. Like by what we heard in the earlier speech, you are the master of your destiny. It essentially, in a corporate life, if you look at your career, you are the master of your own career. You can build it up. And today, careers is really not about promotions. It's about an integration of the experiences that you have gone through, whether these are horizontal experiences or vertical experiences. It's just an integration of experiences and your learnings from those experiences. This is what we look at. In today's world, with talent being easily available, and this talent is talent which is coming from everywhere, with the opening up of the gig economy, there is a huge talent pool which is available of specialized, skilled talent. And organizations today, in a post-COVID world, will look at how do we manage our own costs, how do we manage our own resources, and therefore they will look at the best available talent in the world out there. And this means that they are looking at gig people. They are looking at people who will come in and who will solve an issue for them, or who will bring a skill which is required for a short period of time, deliver and go away, which means that organizations don't need to invest much in full-time resources. That will come down. So if you're going to be competing against this gig economy, which is boundaryless, where there are gig specialists across the world who are competing for roles, then you really need to constantly upskill and reskill yourself. And I tell my teams and I tell my organizations that I worked in, if you have stopped reskilling or upskilling yourself, you are absolutely dead in this organization. You are not going to grow. And therefore, when you are looking at building careers, it is actually hand in hand with building capability. The more you are skilling yourself or reskilling, upskilling, you are increasing your repertoire of skills and experiences. That will help you to stay relevant. And in this open marketplace, competing against some really good talent, this is what will give you the competitive edge. So keep on building your context, your the organization that you are hand or part of. Keep building that. Keep building your skills and leadership capability. See, today lifelong employment doesn't exist. Organizations also don't expect that people will be there with them for more than 3 years. If people are there for 5 years, wonderful. But 3 years usually, or 2.5 years usually, is the kind of a life cycle of an employee in an organization. So if it is um, but given this kind of a short life cycle, if you put it, organizations still want to invest in their people, but they're choiceful about their investments. So, what does an organization really look at in terms of who to invest in? They essentially look at four things. Sorry, three things. They look at ability. So ability really is about your domain depth or your knowledge. It's about the new skills that you're picking up in your domain. They look at agility, which is your learning agility, the flexibility under sudden changes in circumstances. Are you able to pick up new skills? Are you able to adjust? Are you able to adapt? So they look at all of this and the speed of adaptability. And finally, they look at the aspiration of an individual, which is your will and your desire, the drive to grow. So if you have all of this, then organization will invest a fair amount of resources in building up your own capability. So again, reiterating, be a teacher, share your ideas, build up your own skills, knowledge, your repertoire of experiences, because that is what will give you the competitive edge and make you relevant. And last but not the least, just want to talk about before I end. Um, it's my I while it's not part of the 9 fundamental truths, it's the 10th truth for me, which has worked for me, is essentially care about yourself. Self-care is the most important care. If you don't spend time on yourself, on building yourself, on loving yourself, on caring for yourself, then you will not be able to provide the empathy and the kindness to others. So self-care is important. Gratitude is important. Gratitude not just for the past, but for now. The fact that you're here today in a great institution about to step into the next phase of your life, you should be grateful for that opportunity which has been given to you, has been gifted to you. So make the most use of it. Always remember that 2020 saw many people drop out of education because they were unable to. And many of them will not be able to rejoin the, the education that they dropped out of from for various circumstances. So when you're going through the next 4 years of your life, please remember your peers and peers who are not going to get this opportunity to learn more or to go further in the field of education, and remember them as you graduate out of your class. And finally, compassion. Compassion is this is what makes us humans. This is what differentiates us from the rest of the life species. Whether it's for our family or friends, reach out, ask people, talk to people. If it's people around you who you may not know that well or you don't have a relationship with, at least notice that they may be in trouble and treat them right. Because if we don't love ourselves, if we are not grateful for what we have received for the past as well as now. And if we don't show compassion, then really, as a human race, I don't think we have evolved much. So that's what I really wanted to end with. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak to you, and I wish you all the best over the next 4 years. And here's to onwards and forwards. Good luck.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights about the need to adapt to changes and maintain the good health. The tagline, follow your dreams and discover the purpose, and the 10 fundamental truths to be followed has definitely motivated all of us. Thank you once again, ma'am, for your kind gesture. Ma'am has been addressing all of us all the way from Kolkata. Thank you, ma'am. Moving further, excellence is the result of sincere efforts, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. Our institution encourages faculties for achieving academic excellence. I now request Professor Meghashri EM, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, to announce the list of teachers who have excelled to be honored.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, one and all present here. I'm Meghashri EM, Assistant Professor from CS Department. I'm delighted to be here today to present Teaching Excellence Reward for all the faculties of all the department who have achieved 100% result in the subject which they have handled from the academic year 2018-19 even semester till 2019-20 even semester. So this Teaching Excellence Reward is a practice in SVIT to encourage and appreciate the hard work and the dedication of the faculty. Now I request Dr. H.S. Ramesh Babu sir, Principal SVIT, to give away the certificates to the faculties. First of all, I would like to request Electronics and Communication Engineering faculties, Professor Manjunath Chari, who secured 100% result in wireless cellular and electronic. Professor Surya Narayan MP, for the subject Network and Cyber Security. Next, that's Professor Dashwin R.D. for the subject Wireless Cellular and Electronic. Next, Dr. Venkatesh M. for the subject Microwave and Next, Professor Pawan Kumar for the subject Digital Image Processing. Next, Dr. Chaya VM for the subject Real Time System. Next, I would like to call upon Triple Department faculties. Professor Sanjay S. for the subject Power System Operation and Control. Next, Professor V. Kumar M. for the subject Operation and Maintenance of Solar Electric Systems. Professor Rekha Murthy for the subject Electrical Machine Design. Next, Professor Shikha Patil for the subject Estimating and Costing. Next, Professor Amulya Hetty for the subject Renewable Energy Systems. Next, I would like to call upon Civil Department faculty, Professor Gautam B. for the subject Pavement Design. Next, from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Professor Deeksha Hegde B. for the subject Information and Network Theory. Next, from the ISC Department, Professor Abhijit H.B. for the subject Web Technology and its Applications. Next, from the Mathematics Department, Dr. Arun Kumar N. for the subject Calculus and Linear Algebra. Thank you, sir. And my hearty congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you, Megha ma'am, and congratulations to all the achievers. Henry Ford says, coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. It was indeed this mantra of working together that has brought us where we are today. Collective work is a secret behind the progress that SVIT has seen. I now request a man of distinct vision, an idol of knowledge, and a constant source of inspiration to all of us, our beloved director, Professor M.R. Khanna, sir, to deliver the presidential remarks.
Hello. Shall I continue my talk?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. Today's chief guest, Veerashananda Swami Saraswati Swamiji, Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashram Tumkur, and our guest of honor, Madam Rukmini Giridhar, Head L&D Strides Farm Science Limited, and of course, my trusted trustees, and many of them have not logged in perhaps. I could see Professor Jayasimha and Professor Swami and others I do not know. They must be busy or they must be logging. I don't know what happened. And our principal, especially who took a lot of interest in this program today, and our esteemed staff members who have been always supporting our issues. Finally, the students and the staff, students and the parents who have joined us. My special welcome to all of you. ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. My special welcome once again to the newly admitted students and the parents because they have been inducted as the members of the family of SVIT. Henceforth, we consider you as one of the members of our institution, our family. In fact, I tell you, my dear friends, I don't know what I have to speak now because so many things, really nice speech, more than an hour perhaps. He talked about especially the humanity and the human nature and what is lacking now in this field. I do not know, Swamiji is still listening or he has logged in, logged out. And especially he requested all of us to start Vivekananda Study Center in our college. Swamiji, I know how important it is to a center like Vivekananda Study Center should be done. We'll definitely see what best we can do in the near future, and you will be the first perhaps to inaugurate the study center. His speech was fantastic. A lot of human values he has given. Understood it is very much required, what perhaps he said. Madam, Rukmini Madam has given 9 plus 1, 10 fundamentals. And many fundamentals she has explained why it is required, why first of all, the students should learn all these things. And some of them I liked very much as life to celebrate. I always say life is short and live happily and do something like that. And she also said the same thing, love to life. And of course, she stressed upon the campus life to corporate life, very much required for students because they do not know anything about the corporate life. And that is very much hard for learn, if possible, here only. And she also had one stress at one point, repetition, and repetition. Repetition makes my man perfect. And if you repeat and repeat once again, definitely you'll be a perfect man tomorrow. Perfection is not expected for anybody. Nobody can be perfect in everything. If anybody says I'm perfect, definitely he is semi-god. He can't be. So don't expect that you are very perfect, but always go towards perfection. Madam was telling with the passion to life. That's very much required. I love it. And goal setting, which of course everyone should have a goal setting and work for. The most important point is that the leadership qualities. If we do not have any leadership qualities, especially our students, they cannot do anything tomorrow. Therefore, they should learn the leadership qualities. And she was telling about the mental health and all these things. And so many other points she said, relationship and the self-caring, important, and compassion. So many points, good points she said, but she was in a hurry to tell, therefore I do not know how many points the students understood. But anyhow, I thank Madam and Swamiji for telling a lot of points to our students. But I'm sorry, having listened to them from 10 o'clock, our principal also has given a brief report of the college, and not let, of course, he said less time, but took a lot of time. And now it's already 12:20. I don't know what I have to speak. My mind is really completely confused now. After listening Swamiji and Madam for a long time, and the last speech I have to give. I always tell this point very clear. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೇಳೋರು ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಗು ನೀನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗು, ಸ್ನಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಅದ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ. ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವಾದ್ರೂ ಲೇಟಾಗಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಂತೂ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಲೇಟಾಗಿ ಹೋದಷ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೋಟಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೋಸೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ನ ಸಾರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಮೊಸರನ್ನ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಐಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ನ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಊಟಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟೇ, ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ನಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಸ್ನಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ತಣ್ಣೀರು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಸರಿ ಲಗಾವತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬೋತ್. ವೈ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ನನಗೆ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ನಾನು? ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ವಿಷಯ. ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ನೌ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ಹಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಕಾಲೇಜ್. What is SVIT and all these things. I have nothing to say about the college now, and you know what our college is now. And ಬಾಕಿ ಉಳಿದ ಏನು ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ನೋ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ತಿರ್ಗಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡಲ್ಲ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲಿಸ್ಟೇ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, 1 2 3 4 9 10 ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೂ ನಾನು 2 ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೆಡ್ಡನೇ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಕೊನೆಗೆ. ಒಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಅವರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್. I may substantiate what I say by introducing all my trustees, but already principal has introduced. Yes, introduced Professor Jayasimha, Professor Swami, Padma Reddy, and all people. They are all tough professors, more than 35-40 years. They were at me in RV Engineering College, Aran Shetty College, and right now, all are their backbones of this institution. They are all teachers, professional teachers. They have been teaching continuously for more than 35 years. Myself, although I'm not an engineer, I've been teaching only in professional colleges. I associated myself in RV Engineering College in 1963 as the first staff member. And along with that, I became principal finally in 81. And 38 years I served as institution, professional institution. You can understand how much experience I gained there in RV Engineering College. It's rowdy. Such a rowdy college I was there, and you know what is RV now, and that is top one. There's a challenge one has to take. Madam was telling about challenge. But I must tell so many points. I could reflect myself. Yes, what he said is correct. We have to practice. And Swamiji also telling, oh, ಹಾಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಹ್ಯುಮ್ಯಾನಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂದರು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ, ಆ ಥರ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ವಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೋ ದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. We will teach them, we will tell them whenever chance comes, we will tell them about the humanity, human values, and all these things. And we don't want to only be always strict and strict. No doubt discipline element required that we will always induct, stay upon, but we also give them a lot of plus points and give them training in so many other fields where they learn how to lead life. Therefore, Swamiji, what perhaps you said you will take up. Having said that, all my professors are great teachers so many years, and our Gurukula ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Ours also like a Gurukula because we're all gurus. A teacher for the past 64 years now. And of course, I don't teach now, but I am associated myself the teaching profession. Therefore, Swamiji, this is like a Gurukula only, because all our gurus for so many years, they could understand the pulse of the students and react upon that. Not only we are only teachers, but we teach them how to lead life also. And therefore, my parents and students did not worry that you are learning everything in a very professional college. And of course, as all of you know, about one of the best college for teaching. My dear friends, I don't want to say anything more because today all the things have been told, so many people. But one point I will touch upon, if you count the number of the trustees and with the 3 professors and myself, 4, all teachers only. Along with that, our secretary, young and energetic secretary, and he is a practicing engineer, and he is a BE first, then he did the MTech distinction, civil engineering. He is doing his PhD. Of course, there are 2 professors are doing PhD, almost completing now, the trustees, and he may be shifting over to the college anytime, I do not know. And we have got 2 people more, our trustees. Manoharji, a great man in the accounts and all, is at one company. And Mr. Narayan Raju was my colleague in RV Arna Seti more than 45 years. And a good administrator doing a wonderful job. So my dear friends, you can understand, we 7 people started the college. 7 has got a very crucial and important number. You take the colors. Our son, SUN son, not SON. SUN son, very strong person giving white light. You know that white light contains 7 colors and 7 colors make white light. And of course, if you just take A1, if you take a week, there are 7 days. And if you take music, Sarigama Padinisa, and 7 words make such a world of musician. I am interested to tell you one thing about Saptarashi Mandala. I don't know, 7 stars. And in the 7 stars, if you know, and if you just go to any place, if you want to sort out the pole star, the 2 stars, if you just make a big straight line, you would reach 7 star. Because if you know 7 star, then you can know the location. 7 star is always the north side. And if therefore, our principal has a very simple thing, and your pole star is to get a good degree from the college or to become a good engineer, successful engineer. And our principal has very simple, because of the 7 stars are there to guide him, and he can get it done. My dear friends, he also touched on one point. I also stress upon always things. The youngsters are not useless, but useless. And they are not careless, they are careless and they are careless. We always care for you. Last week when I inaugurated the session and 1 week session, and I did not tell you this point, but we started that because to care for you. You should learn what perhaps from the college, and therefore I always stress upon these points. I don't want to say anything more because many are already told, both of them are told so many things, but only if in this college, we always follow certain ground rules that I have to say. I have been following this ever since in RV Engineering College, in RN City College, and now also. And that first ground rule is no movement in the campus. We don't expect anybody or any one of you to move in the campus unnecessarily. And unless until you just have no class, you go to canteen or go to library and do some work there. And discipline, of course, need not say, you got to do it. From your dictionary, you have to remove 3 words. You have no 3 words in this college. One is ragging, already principal told. Another is copying in the examination. No, nobody copies in our college. We do it very strictly. And another is strike. No strike at all. So far, so good in the college. And that you have to follow very rigidly. And if you just do that and work with your full heart, not work hard, full heart, you can be a wonderful engineer. In fact, in my last, when I inaugurated, I could refer about Anil Kumble. Kumble, how he has come to this level and what is the formula he followed. And I said 3D plus if devotion and dedication plus your commitment, what you have to do. And if you just do that, you'll be a successful engineer in future. Finally, I do not want to say anything because I have already told you, for students especially, so many things. These 4 coming years, if you work hard, I tell you, you can enjoy more than 40 years in a lifetime. And you need not that be an engineer only, but you can be entrepreneur, you can do anything, and you can have your own company. You can start a lot of your friends and others in your company. Finally, I tell you, my dear friends, as Swamiji was commenting on that, please highly respect your teachers, your parents, elders, and all. So therefore, I always say, Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, and Acharya Devo Bhava, Atith Devo Bhava. One more thing I add today is the college, SVIT Devo Bhava. Wish you all the best. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I don't want to continue my speech. A lot of all the people spoke so much. I want to just say that hello to you and also wish you all the best. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Your energy has always inspired us. Attitude of gratitude is a humble gesture of mankind. I now request Dr. Hastuna R.A. Ma'am, HOD Department of CSE, to render the vote of thanks. Thank you, ma'am. Feeling gratitude and not expressing, it is like wrapping a present and not giving. Myself, Dr. Lakshmana Rani, Associate Professor and HOD Department of CSE. It's a great privilege to propose vote of thanks for inaugural function of first year BE classes. I would like to thank our chief guest, Sri Sri Dineshananda Saraswati Swamiji, Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashrama, Tungur, for gracing the occasion. Thank you, Swamiji. I would like to thank our guest of honor, Ms. Rukmini Giridhar, Head, Learning and Organization Development, Strides Pharma Science Limited, for gracing the occasion. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank our president of the function, Professor M.R. Hulla, sir, Director, SAVI Institute of Technology, for gracing the occasion. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our beloved trustees, Sri Srinivas Raju, Founder, Trustee and Secretary, Professor A. Padmareddy, sir, Founder, Trustee and Vice President, Professor R.C. Shanmukaswamy, Founder, Trustee and Joint Secretary, Professor Y. Jayasimha, sir, Founder, Trustee, Sri Manohar, Founder, Trustee and Treasurer, Sri Narayan Raju, sir, Founder, Trustee, for their continuous support and encouragement. I would like to thank a man behind to support and motivate to organize such events at the campus, none other than our respected principal, sir, Dr. H.S. Ramesh Babu. A special thanks to technical team Professor Praveen, Professor Pavan, Professor Santosh Gadkar, Professor Suryanarayan N.A. to live stream this event. I would like to thank Dr. Shankar Sir, HOD, Department of Physics, for taking the lead in organizing this event. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Anand Sir and Sudarshan Sir in arranging all these things. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank all the department HODs, faculty members, staff members, housekeeping team, parents, last but not the least, the esteemed students of 2021 batch. Thank you, everyone. I'm wishing you all the best for your future and hope you to see in the campus soon. Stay connected with your parents and department. Thank you all once again for making this event a grand success. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for your time and patience. We assure you that the next 4 years of your stay at SVIT will be definitely fruitful. Thank you all.